everybody. It's Gus from Hoosier. Hope you're having a good evening tonight. Hope you get your popcorn and you're all jammied up. It's drizzly, freezy, icy, rainy.
Crappy
What else?
night.
Anything else on there?
It's kind of cold.
It's kind of cold. It's starting to warm up a little bit. It's turning to rain on top of the ice when we slid up the stairs to get in here.
Yeah, like we literally hung on the rail.
Looked like we were one Sherpa short of making it. Tonight is Tech Talk, so I'm glad if anybody's tuning in. I'm glad you're tuned in and watching us. We were going to talk about IR cameras and IR lights and full spectrum cameras, but Dustin and Amanda, who were going to lead that charge, and Linda are unavailable this evening, so we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about trigger objects. So we got a beautiful array of trigger objects over here, right behind Gus's big head. Don't know if you can see
He'll
him.
demonstrate. Right now he's shaking my hand.
Yeah.
Do you have it pulled up so we can see if there's comment?
I'm working on
Or
it.
do you need me to say so since you don't have glasses?
I'm working on it. You talk for a minute and I'll
All right.
fuzzy button it.
So we really had a great time coming to with the last live discussing all the equipment. So it's not that we don't have any equipment to talk about tonight, because we still do have some equipment. We have probably 2 weeks left of equipment to cover. But yeah, Amanda and Dustin and Linda, their cameras and everything else, they specialize in those. So that's why we're going to save that live for them.
Yep.
So we went to Plan B, and the Plan B would be trigger objects and light up and sound.
Different means of detection of spirits and or spiritual activity.
Right. Anything to let us know. And we can also discuss like places that we've had better experience with the different pieces that we've used and all that, because I know that when we were at Davy's house, the certain thing that you're going to show them kept going off. When we were in that one room, we knew it was out there.
Yeah.
So, do you want to begin and then I'll go?
Absolutely. If you've been on an event with us or an investigation of any kind, one of the simplest objects that we use quite often, right here, it's a simple flashlight, and that's the green part here that you can see, or maybe you can't see. We put them in these little holders.
Can you take the picture?
Huh?
You mean to picture?
I'm just going on the premise that not everyone is as blind as I.
Okay, so you made this holder, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's just a simple little maglite flashlight. And we did that for a couple reasons. One, because it's a metal casing, and if you set it on something, it'll transfer heat and cold and can affect how the flashlight operates. And the other reason is it's round, so then it rolls. And if you've ever dropped an unlit flashlight in a dark mansion, yeah, you know why you don't like that. So the premise is it's a twist light, and it twists right up here. See there, it's on, off, on, off, on. And what you want to do is kind of just set it so it's just almost on. And then the idea is to set it down. You ask the spirit's questions. The hypothetical theory is the spirit can then manipulate that last little bit and turn it on to answer your question, yes or no, or to turn it off. Just like with anything, this is not always 100% reliable. Sometimes it'll do its own thing. And what I mean by that is when you have it to that almost on position, vibration or change of temperature in the room can be just enough to make contact to kick that light on. So you kind of have to apply a little bit of common sense. Every time this thing turns on and off doesn't mean it's a spirit talking to you, but I will tell you on multiple occasions we've had interactions, long interactions, where the light has been turned on and off, very precise, in a very intelligent way to question. So a good trigger object to use, pretty simple setup. You don't have to have this little holder bracket. It's just, I'm a knucklehead, so I wanted a bracket.
And you just like putting stuff together. But I would like to say, when we were at Post Town, well, okay, so there's been several instances before we had the cases around them, where the flashlight is physically moving, and like he said, if it's off and it's dark, you're not gonna find a flashlight. But thankfully, we were getting interaction. But at Post Town, out in the hallway, remember that? Like I got down low enough because I felt like I was talking to a child spirit, so I'm down on their level, and I can literally see the flashlight turning, like the whole flashlight moving. So, just like the rope that we showed you last week, the ghost rope, if something could take off with that ghost rope, that'd be awesome, but if something could take off with the flashlight, that'd be even better. But this, the way that it holds it up and everything, we have less of that vibration causing it to come on. We have less of. They're easier to find too.
Right. Honestly, the thinking behind the bracket, other than just keeping it from rolling off and stuff in the dark, was I wanted to try to take out as much of the criticism that people give using these for paranormal investigations, and that's, well, if you put it on a cold stand, it's going to get cold and the metal heats and shrinks and blah, 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 and the light comes on. So I wanted to try to isolate it. So this, you can't see even on the camera when she walked it up there, but the way this flashlight is mounted in this bracket, there are hardened rubber isolation tips that set between the mount and the flashlight. So it's not picking up any heat or cold from the bracket or anything around it. So we're trying to take out a little bit of the self-doubt or some of the criticism as to whether this is a functional method for talking with ghosts. And I would say that I can only think of a handful of times where on an investigation where this has been on and off, where I thought it's just turning on and off. Mm-hmm. Usually, I would say 70% or greater, maybe 80% of the time, it's intelligent, to the point, turn it on, turn it off. If anybody was with us at Blackford County for Spooktober, in the jail cells, cell number 2, that guy, for whatever, likes to mess with me in that cell, and I mess right back with him. It was like spot on. It was spot on the whole time. So, good, useful tool. Just like anything in the paranormal, there's not a single device that is 100% accurate all the time. So you have to apply common sense when these devices are going off as to what you're seeing.
I'd also like to add, we've only had one instance where the whole thing moved at Asher Walton.
That's true.
The video, there's nobody around. There hasn't been anybody around it for a while, but I believe we posted that. It's been a year or so ago, but
and it went forward.
Yeah, it's almost like it got top heavy, but we had been getting activity with the flashlight all night, but then when nobody's around, it just kind of and it didn't like fall over. It kind of slowly went.
Yeah, it looked like an invisible hand just lowered it nose down. It was really the video capture is pretty cool.
Yeah. So do we have any?
We have a lot of people on tonight. The names have been flashing by faster than I can read them. But hey to everybody, thanks for tuning in. So, you want to talk about the...
Does anybody have any questions yet about the flashlight, about where you found the casing, anything like that? Or if you investigate, do you use a flashlight to get interactions?
Does anybody out there use a flashlight on the regular? We use it as part of a group of things, some of which you see tonight. We don't use it exclusively.
I was about to say, I use flashlights to be able to see.
Little ball.
That was a good one.
Use funny.
But yeah, to get interactions with the spirits. Has anybody ever tried that? Or if you've been on investigation with this, do you have anything that pops out that has happened with the flashlight? He forgot his glasses, so I'll hold for a second.
Well, I think we're frozen. I don't know if we're frozen on the live. Are we frozen? People out there? People of the free world? Your hand is frozen in the video. Unless you're sitting here like this.
No, I see. Oh, Gus has to move with me. Nope, we're not froze up here.
Okay.
We do have we have it. Deb said hi, Amanda said hi.
Hey everybody, we don't have the I'm an old man. I need the teleprompter with 120,000 font, you know?
Did you not have it so you can see the comments?
Yeah.
Okay. Deb says, hello, friends. Hey.
But they were going up the screen and then disappearing. So
Okay.
while we're talking, I couldn't follow that and talk at the same time.
So we have Sally Harvey.
Hey, Sally.
Hey, Dustin, Amanda. There's Kim Sims Jr. Or senior. Geez.
Mix your metaphors
yeah.
and your pronouns.
Yeah,
and
all of it.
Yeah.
So,
your participle was dangling.
hi, Dawn.
Gus is laying down now.
Yeah. Hey, Joni. Michelle. Michelle is good, and we'd love to have some more of Fred's cheesecake soon. Hey, Becky. There's Linda. Hey, Denise. Hey, Deb. Chelsea. Sierra. Juanita.
I only missed a couple.
Okay, I think that's it. I think I caught us all up, so.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
But there's a few names on there I've never seen before, so.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, hopefully you learn a lot, and hopefully you come back for the next live, because I would think, well, the next live will be on a night that Dustin will have to work, so it'd be 2 lives from now that Dustin, Linda, and Amanda would do the cameras and stuff. So, get me to go next.
Yeah, let's talk about El Bowl of El Gato.
Okay, so the cat ball. For those that know Mike Simpson, he introduced me to the cat ball. You'll see on the bottom I put a glow in the dark sticker so I can find them in the dark, because these little things, even if they're on, if nobody's near them, they're not gonna light up and you're not gonna be able to find them. So I mark on mine so I can find them later on. Even though I have left quite a few. I had a whole bunch of them, and I have 2, 3, 4 left. Well, then you bought me some more too. So.
I've seen her throw them. At Geyer, she was trying to hit a hole about the size of the Titanic, but somehow she couldn't hit it.
But you didn't witness that, did you? You were told about that.
Hi. Okay, here's how I found out. Rob, do you have any super glue or tape?
Because I've screwed a few up. So this is just a simple cat ball, is what they're called. You can find them on Amazon, and
look in the pet section.
Right.
Purchasing tip, because there are ghost hunting places that sell them now as ghost hunting devices.
Yeah. Exact
same thing as the cat toy that they are.
Right, and they're probably more expensive sold as the ghost hunting.
Right, they're more expensive. They're $15 if you buy it as a paranormal tool. They're $9 if you buy it as a cat toy that they are.
And like you can see how big this is. I know Crystal on our team, and I want to say Linda, maybe, I don't know, somebody else has bought similar balls of light. And they aren't the same.
Spherical lighted objects.
Like I have some, I think, out in my car that Crystal just gave to me because they'd never shut off. But those, like, you literally had to throw them down. And
those,
you
I think those, yeah, I think, because I did the same thing. They were like dog balls. They weren't cat balls.
Yeah. Yeah,
so they were different.
I've inherited all these different balls for animals that that don't do anything for me. Because I was just thinking I have some in my camera bag too.
Just keep talking.
Okay, so anyway, so to just make sure, I have not seen them any bigger than this, and I don't think you want to be, I don't think you want to get much bigger than this, because these will light up a whole room, and if you're right there and they surprise you, they're super bright. But you just hit the little red button on there, and they light up all pretty. This is kind of cool because it's been in my car, but so like sitting there, like you can tap all around, it's not gonna move. If something literally touches it, it'll light up. We have been places where we've seen these actually moving and lighting up at the same time. Our private location in Newcastle, this was sitting on a chair, I think next to Amanda or Linda, and they sensed something was in the chair. This was lighting up, and it literally kind of rolled around the chair. So that was really neat to see.
Our private location here, we had it roll on the floor
mhm.
in the ladies' lounge, right in the doorway.
That
I
was
just
when I
wanna-
wasn't there, right?
No, this is way back when,
Oh.
like when we first started using those.
Okay. Well, and those doorways at that location are just weird anyway, because we always have doors slamming. We always have some. It's like they hang out right there in the doorway. So
Everybody's in the door.
right. But so yeah, these are some of my favorite things to use. I've accumulated a lot. I've also lost a lot, but Mike Simpson introduced me to them, so I gotta give him credit for the cat ball. Even though a lot of teams do use the cat ball now, so.
What was it? Was that at the New Year's Eve dealie, Bob?
What?
The cat
Yeah.
balls?
Yeah, that's the first time I knew about the cat balls. But yeah, just watch out because there's some balls that you can order that you literally have to throw down. Like if you have the spirit that's
If the ghost is throwing
Has that
stuff,
much
you don't
power.
need a ball, you need a helmet.
yeah, yeah. So and then I know Crystal had one that actually made noise too. I know we had to ride all the way home from Fisher's one night with that thing in my trunk, and we could still hear it going off. And because every little bump, it made noise and it lit up or something. I don't know. But,
Yes, those were the dog balls.
Okay, yeah. So you gotta watch what kind of balls you get, but I think those come in a 2-pack and a 1-pack, don't they? Like you can buy them 1 or 2.
Buy them single or, yeah, it's either 2 or 3.
Mhm.
The manufacturer is that makes the best ones. There's lots of cat toys.
Mhm.
Chewy seems to make the best for paranormal investigation.
Yeah.
They don't know that, but I'm just telling you, through
Right.
trial and error, they make the best one.
Right. And honestly, like they look fragile, but you know, unless you're throwing them at a wall, they're not gonna break. We've had people step on them. We've had people kick them. We've had them go down flights of stairs and they don't get destroyed. It's just when you try to throw them up in a windowsill that they're gonna shatter. What you doing?
Reading the words. TJ is watching. Thanks, TJ.
Hey,
Deb, I wish I had my glasses on, Deb.
do you need me to
Please
read?
be a responsible ghost hunter and neuter your investigative tools. That's pretty good, Deb. I like that.
I've missed you.
Spay or neuter your tools. All of a sudden, I'm Bob Barker.
So, we'll go with the next one. But no, the cat ball is pretty reliable tool. We have been places where you get nothing from them though, which there just proves to me that they do work if they're interacted with properly or appropriately.
Right. Well, and to your point from our last tech talk, you need that array of tools to kind of verify anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can be getting a lot of activity on any one thing. If it's not interacting with other things in the room, especially if you're kind of directing them that way, then maybe you need to question the device that is going off, check the batteries, maybe there's something around it, setting it off, move it to a different location. Again, a lot of this stuff you just have to kind of apply some common sense to the situation. It's easy to get excited. I've done it, and go, woo, it's, whatever it is, it's happening. And then somebody goes, no, that's because of this. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So you gotta apply common sense. For me, I gotta have more than one thing going on, before I feel comfortable believing what I'm seeing out of just the one item. So.
Right. And there are times where we'll set out, like we'll take whatever they're interacting with and put something else in its place and try to get interaction with that other tool.
Right.
But sometimes we won't touch that other object because we are getting so much, but we're like, let's add to it and see if you can manipulate this. One thing I just thought about was your keyboard. You didn't bring your keyboard tonight.
Yeah, I didn't bring keyboard, but that's a good example. We had an investigation where we thought we had just had the holy grail of
They're super excited.
evidence, and as it turned out, there was a device. It's a little children's keyboard, and it lights up, and it has a stimulus circuit in it because it's made for children. So if someone's not touching it for a while, it will play a few notes to try the premises to entice the child to come back and play with it. But what had happened was we had a couple random notes out of the blue play, which was legit paranormal. And then we started interacting with it. Deb actually on our team started interacting with it because she is our resident rock star. And we thought what was coming back to us was paranormal, but it was just that stimulus response from the keyboard. So yeah, you're right. I didn't bring it, and I should have brought that. But again, it's a tool that does work.
That's so frozen.
I know. You're still like.
Pause.
But there again, it's a tool that works, but you have to know its limitations and what it can and can't do. Because in that moment, we were all pretty dang excited. We thought, holy cow, we got a piano playing ghost.
Yeah, like Deb even got up and kissed her bald sweaty head.
Yes. It was hot in there, and I had to turn the fan off because it was too noisy. But we did get at least legitimate couple keystrokes. We just didn't get all the playing we thought we got.
Right.
So probably need to use that more because it does light up too.
Yeah.
So it's a cool keyboard because when the keys are depressed, they light up. So that's what made. I'll try anything. If you guys have followed Hoosier Haunts at all, you'll know. If you've been on events, you'll see that I'm dragging stuff out, and everybody's like, "What the heck is that?" Well, I bought this, and I bought that, and some duct tape, and some super glue. Here we go. We're gonna try it.
I just want to say hi to Val, and she's been on a few of our investigations with us.
Hey, Val, how you doing? Hope you're doing well, staying warm. It's a little icy out there in places tonight.
Especially my front steps.
May need to escort it out of here on the stretcher.
Just pull up to the front of up to the porch and just hang on your mirror.
There you go. All right, so if nobody's got any questions, I don't see anybody popping on there with questions. Hey, you're moving again.
Yeah, I turned it off and then put it back on.
Oh, gotcha.
So it wasn't like...
It was hilarious. I was reading messages, and she was just like this for like 5 minutes. But the next object that we like to use, trigger objects, we don't use it too often. There was one investigation in particular that we used it, and the spirit, I don't know, the spirit was on crack. The spirit was moving constantly all night as things going off. Motion detector. So there's a couple components to it. I'm only holding one because it's kind of redundant to hold up more than one. But this is the main portion of it. This plugs into an outlet, and then you place the sensors throughout the house. At Davy's house in Kokomo, which, by the way, team wants to go back to, small place, so we can't really run an event out of there because it's literally just a regular old house, middle class.
Like pretty much like 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Because there's really no wall. I mean, the room that we're in.
Yeah. Yeah, you investigate together whether you want to or not in that place. But we had a blast there. We placed these motion sensors everywhere in the house, but the one in the kitchen was going off. We had voices on our video footage, disembodied voices. We had a flashlight turn on. We had an object on the counter get knocked over, all in the kitchen.
Right.
But whatever was in the kitchen was non-stop. Like, we were there in the winter. It was cold. Heater was blowing the whole time, but it was cold. So there's only one heated room. So at some point, we all went into the heated room, closed the door to get warmed up. And while we were in there talking about what we just witnessed and what, let's try this next or that next, the whole time this thing's going off. One of the detractions, and Cari and I were talking about it before we went live, and there's another one out there that I'm thinking about getting that lights up instead of makes noise. This makes a tone.
Like a doorbell.
Yeah, so she always calls it the doorbell. In fact, in that video, I think, of Davy's house, you go, the doorbell kept going off.
Yeah,
It's like, no, the doorbell did the motion sensor. It sounds like a doorbell. But it will drive you bat-blind crazy in that case where that was going off all night long.
Well, and unless you're in that room to see it light up, you don't know which one it's coming from because there's how many components to that? Like
there's 4.
Okay, yeah. So like you set them up through a house, unless you're out there and you can see.
Unless you're standing in front of the sensor that's lighting up,
you don't know
because it just has a little light and it'll flash when the noise comes out of this, and this is somewhere else. So if you're not standing there to see that little light go off, you know something moved somewhere, but you don't know where.
Right.
So that's one of the detractions. So they're now making one that instead of making the noise lights up. So I'm checking into that, and we're going to give that a whirl. We've tried some of those in the past, and problem was they were like too hypersensitive, like.
You can be like 6 foot down the hallway now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a microbe sneezed 3 rooms down, it would light up for 15 minutes, and it had like a floodlight where you could do surgery and nobody could see or whatever. So, we'll see if we can find one that's got a little more subtlety to it. But another good tool to use to cover a lot of ground to. It works good in a situation where you've never, like at Davies, the team had never been there before. So you don't know where all the hot spots really are. So it can help you while you're investigating, hone in on, man, the sensor in the living room or wherever keeps going off. Let's focus our attention there. Mm-hmm. So it helps kind of guide you to where the activity is.
Thank you, Amanda. She just posted the link to the Davies house
Cool.
evidence.
Thank you.
We do have a few comments real quick, too. So Valen said, "Hi, guys, miss you." Deb says she likes your lighted mirror thing you made. So I'll let him talk about that in a second. Terry says, "Hope to see you guys again soon." Hey, Terry. Hello, Danielle. And, so Amanda and Dustin just posted the link to the Davies video, which has all the evidence. It's on YouTube.
Yep, if you want to check it out. That was a fun place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they're back open. I don't know if you guys know, they closed down for a while. It was kind of complicated, but it was basically because it was going through changing hands and everything. It took a little while to get everything back up again. And they opened back up.
That's the only place we all stayed together the entire night, partially for warmth.
Yeah, partially for body heat.
but too, because we kept getting interaction. No matter if we were together or separate.
Right, and if you've investigated with our team, we start out always as a group initially, and then we kind of let the spirits dictate what we do from there. In that particular case, the spirits liked that we were all together, so we just stayed together. Yeah. So we were almost at the point where we were afraid to split up because we were getting such good activity. We didn't want to rock the boat. It's like, okay, if they're going to interact like this, we'll just roll like this.
And I think sometimes when we weren't paying attention, we were getting more activity too. Like when we had the Hoosier Hunts choir going, there was still activity going on. It seemed to ramp it up a little bit.
Next time we're going to do the greatest hits from the Eagles. Next time the choir gets together.
Yeah. We're good at investigating. The singing is not the best, but the spirits interact with us. We're silly, and we really enjoy it. And honestly, like
Michael, it's your birthday, so I need you to start learning all the Eagles songs with the modern country twang.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Elbow. I'm glad you're back in town, and look forward to investigating with you soon. But I was going to say something else, and I can't remember. Where else did we sing at? No, we didn't sing anywhere else. We played music quite a bit.
There was an event at a mortuary where you were down in the embalming room and told everybody that I sang, and then came up and said that they wanted you down there, and I go down there, and I go, yeah, what do you guys need? Well, Cari said you're a good singer. I'm like, huh? I'm a ghost hunter.
Besides having him sleep in attics and everywhere else,
yes.
and tell him where to park, I also will throw him in the bus and say he can do something that he probably shouldn't, but
yeah,
it should probably be left at.
But it won't stop me from doing it anyway.
Your sister's watching. Hey, Dorothy.
Hey, Doc. Love you, sis.
So, all right. So we're ready for. Oh, did you want to explain your mirror thing? I know you didn't bring it, but.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the things I'll experiment with. So, I got on this tangent about thermal cameras, and a thermal camera. We have one. They work great. They're expensive. They work great, but then you need another camera with the thermal camera so you can videotape what you're seeing. It's just a whole lot of hassle. And I thought there's got to be another way. So anyway, I did a little research and found this company that makes what's called thermographic paper. Please raise your hand if you know about thermographic paper. I never knew a thing about thermographic paper until I found it.
I've seen it.
But this paper is heat sensitive. So like you can put your hand on it and it will turn the colors like a thermal camera and you can see it's there. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to get a ghost fingerprint?
So then you got to tell why we don't use it. Just hold on. Please hold. Just teasing. It does respond to cold pretty quick.
Yes. What we found is if you're in a place that's really cold or really hot, it's a little sluggish to react because it's either really hot or it's really cold.
Right.
But the first time we used it, we all got excited because we thought we got something, but it was just on a wet spot in the carpet that was cold. And so then it turned color in that one spot.
That was at Davy's house too.
Yes. But what made me then take it next level was I realized that night, we debunked it in that, not too long after that, but I realized if a ghost had put its hand on it, the paper is black until it, you put your hand on it and it turns whatever color it turns. And I was like, I'm in the dark with a black piece of paper. What am I doing? So, like I told you, with the super glue and the duct tape, I got some ribbon lights. I got a battery to power the ribbon lights. I got a shadow box. I'm out of the thermographic paper in the shadow box. So we have a lighted box that a ghost can put its hand in and touch the paper. But again, we can really only use it when it's moderate temperatures, because if it's cold outside, you're in an abandoned house with no heat, like on a couple nights like we've had this week, everything is just as cold as the outside air.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have, Satan himself, somebody with a flaming finger to light that paper up. So.
Well, another thing I was going to say too is when it is lit up is so bright that it can literally light up the whole room, like I know when we're at Stone Mansion.
Well, there's a dim button
that
we just didn't push it.
But so we haven't used it in a long time. He also has this, which I'm sure you've showed this, where it's like they can tap the yes, no, and all that stuff. We've never had that work, but I think it's just the fact that we haven't found the right place to use it.
Yeah, I think it will work. It's just not going to work everywhere. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're made for like kids to use as night lights. They're geometric shapes. They're stop sign shape. They all hook together by magnets, and they're touch lights, touch sensitive lights. And so then what I did was just get some lettering and put on it for yes, no. I don't even remember what all the phrases are.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I did put some green film on them to try and, because the light was like,
yeah, it was like way too bright. Yeah, we would definitely know if something touched it.
Yeah. So I haven't got that particular experiment to work yet, but that's another trigger object that we use. And look, sometimes you gotta pull them all out because different spirits like to interact with different things. Mm-hmm. Like we were saying before, we like to get them to interact on different things just as a confirmation. And usually, if it's activity, they will. But they all seem to have a go-to. So, like, some investigations, cat balls are king. Yeah, they'll touch the other stuff if you ask them, but they're going to talk to you with the cat ball on and off, on and off. They're going to play with it. Or the ghost ropes that we use, they'll use those. So they're just, spirits were people too. So, I mean, they have their favorites, and once they get locked on their favorite, they'll kind of roll with it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any of your other experiments, but I think what we're getting at too is you don't have to go buy expensive ghost hunting equipment to get activity or to what?
My sister says get the ghost hand warmers.
That's funny. I feel like we need them in here tonight. But you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff to go ghost hunting. I know when I started, I had a recorder and a flashlight. So
I went for the first year with just a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have anything else for the entire first year. I ghost hunted. I just used a flashlight because I wanted to see through everyone else's experience what works and what doesn't. Because otherwise, there's no guides in the ghost hunting equipment world. It's a lot of trial and error.
Right.
So it's like I wanted to try to minimize that as much as possible.
Well, and I'm sure there's been a photo posted on Hoosier Hunts. I think there has been of Rob's collection of cases. I got one case of my stuff, but Rob's can take up a whole bed of a truck. So,
Hey Heather, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, so Rob's the kind that he likes to buy. He's Amazon addicted too, I think. But
I might be, but honestly, I want to be the first human to have a conversation with a ghost,
Yeah.
a verified conversation. So I'm always looking for what's going to get me there.
Right. And I'm just excited to see that ghost trip take off someday. So, but no, so amongst all of us, we do have quite a bit of equipment. And Rob's really the more
Nerdy.
Well, yeah, he's a nerd, but he also likes to come up with stuff that nobody else would come up with. Like he could probably take that pillow and make something out of it, saying, "Let's see if we get any activity out of it." So it's interesting to see what he comes up with. But yeah, you don't have to go out and blow a whole bunch of money. If they want to interact with you, they're gonna find a way to interact with you. So I know in some places, because you always turn your phone.
Yes.
I have a habit of not, but I know at some points we've had Siri go off before.
Yes.
So it's like if they want to interact, they're going to interact with something.
Well, Ben Farms, we think we were talking with a spirit over the phone.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I believe we've talked about that before, but I'll bring it back up.
This is a great trigger object that, here, I'll hold it up.
The telephone.
A phone.
I think it was Dustin's idea to leave a phone inside the house.
It was a genius idea.
And we called it, well, of course you have to answer it.
Yes, we made the connection between two phones, left one inside the home with a camera on it. Mm-hmm. Then we all left the house and went outside with the other phone and tried to have a conversation, and we caught some responses. Some spirit was talking to us through an iPhone.
Well, and the thing too was we did it twice, I think. And the first time we didn't get, or maybe the first time we got what we got, and then the second time we, either way, it wasn't always consistent. So that's why we thought we had interaction, and it only happened after we say something, it would interact. And then the lights in the house would, like the ghost rope or whatever, light up.
Right.
So we knew something was up there. So did you have anything?
That's all I had on that.
Okay. So we have the REM pod. This one's kind of beat up a little bit because I think going on 2 years now I've had it. But I got this.
Quick show of hands. How many people use a REM pod when they investigate?
No.
Oh, it only doesn't work that way. I can't see anything.
Right. But I don't have a battery in it right now because the batteries, even though when you're not using equipment, they still die. So I don't have a battery in it. But it has the antenna, and then it has different lights. And there's there's a REM range, which is, how far out it's going. So you can turn it up high, and I'm not sure exactly how far this one reads out, or will pick up on.
Gus came down to help illustrate.
The different lights on it. Also, you can turn it where it only has one that lights up, or, if you really want to know if something's there, you can have all 5. It also has a sound that is very loud. You can hear it.
Yes, you can hear it. Wherever you are, you can hear it.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a place where we've gone that we couldn't put it at the front door and hear it wherever we're investigating. Maybe Ashmore would. Ashmore would have gone down the halls, probably.
Yeah.
But I've not had a whole lot of activity with this, but like Rob was talking about earlier, we only have one on the team. So unless you're sticking it right where you're having activity, you're probably not going to get the interaction that you think you would with them. But I do like it. I think it was Ashmore, where you guys had it down in the boiler room.
Yes.
And I think we were getting activity.
We were getting good activity down there with it in the boiler room.
And that's the night that I dropped it. But it's okay. But there's my glow-in-the-dark tapes. I'm finding my equipment later on the night. But I do enjoy using it. I don't use it very much because, like we said, we only have one on the team. So unless you're getting activity and you know where to put it, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna set at the front door and I'm guaranteed to get anything from it. Another thing is if something does trigger it, like somebody's, when we've had an event or something, if somebody has their phone on and it triggers it, wherever I'm at, I have to go to it and reset it, because when it's just staying on constantly and you have had no other activity, then chances are something has triggered it. And it's so loud, so it's like it interferes with everything. So then I go find it. Normally at that point I turn it off because of that. But yeah, phones can definitely interfere with any of this equipment except for like the cat balls, the flashlight, and your doorbells.
Doorbells, yeah.
So I'll let him talk about it some more. As he actually ordered something new. He's gonna drill all over.
You're going to drool all over my phone. I'm going to see the comments.
He just went to get water. And when I say that, I mean he brought you some water too.
Yes. He always shares.
So I guess.
So REM pod, just so you guys understand how it works, the little antenna, this works. If you've seen like the ghost ropes or K2 meter, this works exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
So all the things that the K2 meter or the ghost rope detect is exactly what this thing puts out. So this can make it a challenge as well if we're getting activity to try to put it in the same room, because it can give us false readings on the other equipment. Basically what this is doing is it's emitting a static charge, an electromagnetic field, and what triggers this is something breaks that field, and that's what causes it to turn the alarms on. So if you have this in close proximity to something like a K2 meter or a ghost rope or something that reads EMF, they will actually pick up the electromagnetic field from the REM pod. So you have to remember to keep them segregated. And I think that, too, is sometimes why we don't always use it, because now it's got to be away from everything else. If it's away from everything else, then it's not where the action is. If it's not where the action is, why are you using it?
Right. Right.
So it kind of becomes a redundant thing. I ordered another experimental piece of equipment that is a play on this, much like the ghost rope. It's a REM rope. So I'm hoping we're going to Octagon Hall next weekend. I'm hoping the U, P's, and S's deliver it before Octagon Hall. And we'll give it a try. It's a startup company. It's an experimental device. So I have absolutely zero guarantee that it will work.
Right. We'll find out.
We'll find out. But that's the chance you take, and it's almost like gambling, really. You know, it's like, I'm just going to throw this money out there and see what happens.
Well, it's just like investigating. You know, you can go somewhere and think that you might get activity, but you may not. So.
Yeah. So these things are good. They're very durable. If my experiment doesn't pan out, I think as a team we probably will be looking at getting some more, if not this very brand, at least some more REM pods, because they do have their place. But we've went the other way. We've went the read the EMF direction, not put the EMF out and see if something will break it direction. Not for any right or wrong reason. It's just kind of the direction we ended up going.
Just how it happened.
By the way, Gus's butt is very bony, and it is sitting on my foot right now.
But it's probably warm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very warm. My left foot is way warmer than my right foot right now.
Until he passes wind. Gus is very much a mama's boy, so having this at my house, he has to be included. I know on Halloween he's in the pictures too.
Yes, he had to wander out right as the pictures were being taken.
Alright, and then there was a live, what was that, probably last year, where he was a little happy and chased me around a tree, so yeah, he's a mama's boy, and he likes to shake. But I think that's all I have on the trigger objects that I can think of. You think of anything else?
No, but I wish I'd have brought those things that you thought of that never even dawned on me.
Well, the only reason I mentioned the mirror is Deb said something about it.
Yeah.
On the comments there, if you can read them.
Well, it's not rolling up. I have to keep reloading it.
Yeah. I don't know why that is, because I've noticed that on Rick's phone too, before like you have to scroll over to get the comments. On mine, it just automatically pops up, so I don't know.
Lori's watching. Thanks for watching, Lori.
Hello.
Deb Whitten says, good boy, Gus.
Yeah. We're just going to shake the whole live, I guess. But, yeah, so something else that was on your live, or on the post about the live, was baby names. If anybody wants to help name Boo Baby here. We do not have a name for her yet, but she'll be here sooner than later.
Well, we do have a question from Anna. How old is Gus?
Gus is 10.
You want me to guess how many pounds he weighs? I'd say about 100 by the way my foot feels right now.
No. He does look older. He's been gray since he was 2. But Gus does weigh 186 pounds.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
I can feel it all.
He is a mama's boy, and he does love to cuddle.
Are you a cuddler? Huh?
And when I say cuddle, he wants to be on top of you. So it's been a challenge.
I'm going to say review at your old house one time. He wanted to get up on my lap and give me a hug.
Yeah, and his hugs you don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want his
It
hugs.
comes with extra goo.
So, but yeah, Gus is 10, and he's a mama's boy. So, but yeah, so I know on the post he mentioned baby names for the mon-star.
mon-star.
mon-star. But, yeah, so.
Tina's watching. Hey to Tina.
Hey,
Thank you, Gus, for getting off my foot.
it's like any time.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah, if you have any names or ideas or whatever, send them in,
You
and
gonna
we'll
shake with
see
me, huh?
see what we got.
You gonna shake with me?
Um,
I have to get you over a little bit because you're drooling in my crotch. That's 2 problems.
Octagon Hall will probably be my last investigation until I have her, so that kind of makes me sad because then I'll have several months off, but the team will carry on, and hopefully they don't have, like, the ghost rope taking off while I'm not there.
I'll bet it will.
So, he's trying to climb up on the couch to see Rob, so.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Our next live, we will be covering more tech stuff, and that would be the thermal camera SLS.
Yep. So we're going to let you guys see up close and personal the SLS, how it works, all the components. Same thing with the thermal camera. There's all different kinds of SLSs. There's all different kinds of thermal cameras, but we'll kind of cover all those details. We'll try to get some footage going up on the big screen as well. I think everybody enjoyed that last time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see some footage while we're talking. Does anybody have any questions over trigger objects or anything we covered tonight? Anything that you've seen, that you've used, maybe seen on TV, and we haven't talked about it tonight, and you're wondering, why don't they use fill in the blank?
Mm-hmm. Well, and on Fox 59, when Rob went on, the team footage rolling in the back was the thermal and the SLS, so that was cool. But yeah, if there's equipment that you guys have had great experiences with, let us know what that is, and if you maybe have some ideas of something that might work and you want to send it to Rob to build.
I'll try.
He'll try it and see what we get.
I will give anything a try.
Yeah. I think another one of my favorite things is we do have a glow-in-the-dark ball. It's like that big. We've charged it several times the whole way to an investigation, and then we forget it in the truck. But I've enjoyed that, even though we haven't got a whole lot of response with it. But it is neat to like roll it, and if it came back to you, or if it went somewhere else, you would be able to see it because it's pretty bright. So
I saw some footage of another team that took balloons, glow stick, break it, shake it, stick it in, blow it up, and then the weight of the glow stick helps it so the balloon doesn't just randomly air drift, but now it has a glow stick in it so you can see it. Might try that. That's a simple, low-tech way to make a trigger object.
Right. And the length, especially if you get a long glow stick, it's going to outweigh the. So yeah, that would work.
Yeah, because we've had people, we've been in situations where they use balloons that light up. I think that's a great idea. It's just when there's no weight to it, man, it doesn't take very much air movement at all to move a balloon. So,
especially in some of these places that are real drafty.
Right. So then you're like, is that a ghost or a breeze? You just don't know. So then when you don't know, I tend to discount it if I don't feel comfortable that, that it seems legit. So.
Right.
Yes, I don't know what you're doing over there. When you get that motorcycle started, give me a call.
Well, he's about to bark, so he's like, okay, time's up. So, as far as that goes, I don't have anything else. I know that we do have some more footage that we'll be posting on Facebook and YouTube shortly from some investigations that we've had over this last 2021.
Yep.
We kind of got away from that, so we want to start sharing some more evidence with you guys, and then
if anybody wants to help support the team, we've still got merch, shirts, bracelets, stickers you can put anywhere you want, or on your car, whatever. If you're interested in if you are interested in any of that, you can just simply drop us a message in the page, whatever you call it thing. Messenger. Yes, thank you.
We'll also be redoing our website this year, so it'll actually have a store on it, so you can order tickets, you can order merchandise straight from our site instead of having the third-party site. I know last year we had some issues with that, so we may still have to use it for this first event, but after that we should be good and have a new site that we can actually use and update and that's user-friendly. So yeah, check out our YouTube and our Instagram. Also, Hoosier Haunts is on TikTok. Amanda keeps that up and going. So we have several different platforms and ways that you can reach out and get a hold of us. If your home is haunted, or you think you have something going on, or
If your dog's haunted.
right, reach out. We do investigate for free.
There's a questionnaire. We're going to take you through a little bit of a process because we want you to understand what we're going to bring to the table, and we need to understand what we're walking into as well. So just gets everybody on the same page. Did see a comment on there that somebody on the team would like an obulus. They're taking donations.
Okay.
Yeah. I have mixed emotions about the obulus. Have we ever talked about it? I don't know if it really works or not.
I think it depends. Like, if you had an obulus that's freestanding, it'd be different. But
Well, because you see it on, the ghost show I like to make the most fun of, Ghost Adventures, and I've always contended that the obulus is like a telephone. I don't know if you've ever noticed, if you talk about something a lot, then all of a sudden
it's on your Facebook.
Yeah, it's on your page, and all of a sudden it's buy that thing that you've been talking to somebody about.
Mm-hmm.
And because whenever you watch Ghost Adventures, for example, Zach will go, "We're here tonight to look for demons. We're going to go in and look for demons. If there's any demons in there, I'm going to take care of them. And those demons better not say they want to kill me, because I'll take care of those demons." And then they walk in the room and they go, "Are there any demons in here?" And then all of a sudden the obelisk goes, "Demons."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Really, dude? Come on."
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's something that we'll definitely check into, and because I do think if they're used the right way, they can be pretty handy. I know Linda has one on her computer, right?
I think so. Yeah. Or on her phone. I know she had a phone app.
Yeah, and then our private location here in Newcastle, one of the guys that goes with us, he downloaded one on his computer, which was cool because it printed the list of words out, so later on you could review that, and that was pretty cool because when you're listening to words being rattled off,
Yeah, unless somebody's sitting there taking notes.
Yeah.
And nobody ever is.
All right.
Although I did buy some pens that light up.
Yeah.
So that we could take notes, but yeah. It was pie in the sky. That's when we were young, green ghost hunters.
we thought had time to do all
we
that.
We were going to document everything that happens, and
now we just review and we're like, what time was that?
Which reminds me, if anybody needs any pens that you can light up and write in the dark, please let me know. I'll sell you some.
Right.
Got a whole set, barely used.
They'll come in handy at some point. I know Crystal has put a mirror out and put baby powder on it before to see if it'll see if the spirits will mess with the baby powder, and I don't know. The team does have some interesting ideas, and everybody thinks outside the box for the most part, and tries different ways to get communication. And but we just want to share a few of ours and leave the live that was supposed to be tonight for Linda, Dustin, Amanda, when they're able to join us. So
Yep. So that'll flip to the next the next one of these we do will be Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be at my house. We'll do SLS and thermal. So it'll probably be the one after that. We'll flip back to Dustin and Amanda. So.
Yep. So, all right, I'm good. Are you good?
I think we're
Anybody else got anything? Hope you guys had a good Happy New Year. And
Yeah, did anybody get a really cool Christmas gift? Deb said, why did I have to burst her bubble talking about the onions? I see a TikTok there. Amanda put a TikTok
I have the
link
link
to
to it.
something.
Yeah. Amanda's behind the scenes tonight and helping us out.
Does Hoosier Hans have a TikTok page?
Mm-hmm. Where have you been?
Man, we're big time.
It's posted, like, it goes on the Facebook story sometimes.
Does it?
Mhm.
I never look at those.
So yes, Hoosier Hans does have a TikTok. I think the funniest TikTok that I have is on my TikTok though, and it's of Crystal's attempt to get into the hammock when we were on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
It got quite a few hits, so.
Yeah, she only had one though.
So yeah, but we do miss all the team. We hope those that are under the weather get better, and those that didn't want to brave
over the weather, get over it.
right. And those that are working, have a great night at work. And we will see you guys.
We miss ghost hunting with everybody. It'll be coming soon. Winter is difficult for holiday reasons, travel reasons, all this goofy flu-rona reasons. Mm-hmm. Every reason you can think of, there's a difficulty. So we're doing private investigations. We're getting a few team investigations in just because we enjoy being with ourselves every once in a while and trying to hone our skills. So that gives us a chance to get brushed up and ready for when you all come in, and hopefully we'll have some new and exciting gadgets and places to go. So I know we've already got one on the books for this year that we're pretty excited about. We've got a couple more we're working on. We're talking about, pretty cool places to go. So save your pennies. We'll love to see you there because we're going to have a blast. And
there won't be as many events this year, but they will be the bigger.
Yeah.
The bigger, maybe more hours.
Bigger bang for your buck is what we're shooting for.
Right. Yeah.
We're tired of COVID world where we're going to blow it up.
Right. So. And at this point, I think everybody's had COVID that we know anyway. I don't know. So.
If you haven't had COVID, you can get it at your local store. Just run right down there and pick it up right now. Yeah.
Right. So we want everybody to be safe and everything, but
safe and healthy.
But yeah.
I'm just a joking knucklehead. You have to understand that.
All right.
All right. Well, if that's it, no questions. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We had a big crowd tonight. I appreciate that. If there's any piece of equipment you want more info on, anything in specific you want to see, we're happy to show you more. We're hams. We'll do as many lives as you want. Mm-hmm. We'll give you close-ups and take something apart and put it together again for you if that's what you want to see.
He will.
Well, look, we all want to do it. The whole team wants to do it. I'm only going to speak for me because maybe I'm only speaking for me, but I wish I would have had some kind of tech outreach when I started in the ghost hunting world, because you literally start ignorant and have to work your way up from there. You know what I mean? It would have been nice to have some resource to know how does that work? Is it right for me? Yeah. What else do I need with it? What are the pluses and minuses of it?
Right.
Right.
Which I know at Christmas time, I had somebody reach out and ask what equipment to begin with. And, to me, it was my flashlight and a recorder, but I can understand it was a child, so I understand a child would not get much pleasure out of a recorder and a flashlight. So I gave out ideas of different equipment that would get the sounds and the lights and everything. So.
Hey to the goat. Hey, Mackenzie.
Hey, goat. Hey, Mackenzie. So, all right. I think we're good. And
yep. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. My travels over here is a little patchy, icy. So if in your area It can be the same. Be careful in your travels.
I may go live when he goes down the stairs.
Probably be a good call because it'd be hilarious.
All right, from Hoosier Haunts, have a good night, and H2, peace out.
Pieces.
Can barely move.